The biggest thing is just to really keep staying in front of people. Don't disappear. People like to feel good about themselves. So we, ask them how they're doing often, stay in front of our clients.
Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. Do I have a treat for you? I will tell you that I have known one of these young ladies for quite some time, and today's focus on this podcast is what is the secret in today's marketplace? And I'm going to give you the secret right from the get-go. I'm not going to bury the lead, but I'm going to hopefully give you an open to this where you are like, that's what I need to do. And here is the secret to success in the current marketplace. Implement. You know what to do. Just do it. You know what to do. And that's the truth. You're looking around for things to do. And the fact is, you've got a to-do list 100 things long. You know what to do. And the first step is to take action. And today we have two people who are going to motivate you to take action because they are master implementers. Coaching with me very short time, already having success, saving over $3,000 on their second event. So the bottom line is you are in for a treat today, and I cannot wait to get to that. But first, I've got to give a shout out to, get this, Fairy Garden Girl. I don't know who that is, but Fairy Garden Girl gave us a 5-star iTunes review for the Referrals Podcast that says, if you've been wanting to grow your business without cold calling, door knocking, being pushy, or having your friends run and hide when they see you coming, Referrals Podcast with Michael J. Maher is what you've been looking for. You can have fun and grow and strengthen relationships while you work. Heart. She put a heart emoji, just throwing that out there. Thank you, Michael, and all the guests who have been so generous with their time and knowledge. Clap emoji, heart emoji, praying hands emoji, gift emoji, heart emoji. You got to read the emojis. You got to feel the emojis. So thank you very much for Fairy Garden Girl. I will just put this out there too. Those of you that listen and like and love what we do, when you do a review, do me a favor. I know you've got your username for however you're doing that, but in the review, put your name, your URL, your location, something like that, because here's what happens. People refer people who refer the Referrals Podcast. So they might look through there and go, oh, there's somebody else out there like me. And guess what? They're in Denver, Colorado. I have a referral for Denver, Colorado. It's really hard to send it to you if they don't know you're working in that area. But if you'll put that in your reviews, it also, quite honestly, allows us to give recognition to those that deserve recognition. And it allows me to do other little special things that I'm not going to talk about. Also, here's our call to action. Here's the thing. Why do people hire you? They hire you because you can solve the problem they have. They hire you not because of your knowledge, they hire you because of your energy. When they meet with you, they are determining, does this person have the energy to solve my problem? Not the knowledge. They don't care about the knowledge. They want energy. And I will tell you, everybody talks about time being the most precious asset. We all have 24 hours. So how can that be the most precious asset? Everybody has 24 hours. We all get the same amount. I truly believe that energy is our most precious asset, because what the top producers do that the low producers don't is they have more energy. What is energy? Energy is the ability to get work done. It's the power to get work done. So if you have a little bit more energy, you're going to be able to get a little bit more done. So guess what? I am teaching energymasteryclass.com. It starts on August 8th. I have spent 3 years researching the different things that help us improve our energy and how do we get rid of some of the things that take away our energy. What is toxic to us? I put it all in one class, 8 sessions. It starts on August 8th. That's 88 with 8 sessions. EnergyMasteryClass.com. Go check it out. Join Referral Mastery Academy to get a significant discount on Energy Mastery Class. And speaking of energy, I have 2 Energizer bunnies with me today, and I am so excited about our guest. Our first guest today is a globe-trotting Air Force brat. Thank you for your service. Turned real estate maven. In 1995, she took the leap into the world of commercial real estate. I want you to think about that. Like, how many female commercial agents were there in 1995? Probably not very many. In 2015, she embarked on a new adventure, and that is the residential real estate market in Atlanta and Marietta, Georgia. Hold on tight as Brenda Brown tells us all about her journey to become the go-to real estate expert in the East Cobb area of Atlanta, especially in this prestigious East Hampton neighborhood. Her business only got better when she decided to team up with her daughter, Paige Woodhouse. Paige has a background in interior design and is a design and staging expert. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare for an exciting ride filled with insider tips, heartwarming stories, and top-notch real estate expertise. Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, Brenda Brown.
Thank you.
And of
I'm
course,
excited to be here.
And of course, welcome to the podcast, Paige Woodhouse.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
All right, mother-daughter team. Tell us the good and bad about that kind of an arrangement.
The good is we have a super strong bond, and working together is very seamless at times. The bad is that we have to work extra hard to separate work and family.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Brenda, how about you?
I think Paige nailed it. And I think the good is that we think a lot alike. She's my mini me. And the bad is sometimes that's not good because I want to be the boss and she wants to be the boss. We tend to butt heads a little bit, but it's all good.
I love it. And so, Brenda, when she expressed an interest to join real estate, were you thrilled or were you worried? Or were you both?
Both. I was both. I was very excited and honored that she wanted to do what I was doing and that she believed in me. And I was a little scared because Paige is very headstrong. I'm very headstrong, and I didn't know how that would work, but it's worked out. We both know when to keep our mouth shut, which has been great.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And here's the thing. Don't you want strong partners to work with, whether they're related to you or not? So,
Absolutely.
You want her to speak up. You don't want her to just to defer all the time and be a freaking robot, right?
Yeah.
So, and I can tell right now because our coaching clients of mine, Paige is no robot. I'm just throwing it out there. Brenda, where was the first time that you heard about 7L? How did let's talk about your and my paths crossing. How did you hear about 7L, or where did you first learn about it?
I worked with Keller Williams, and you had a coaching client named Kelly Allen. And Kelly was kind of showing me the ropes. I came from another residential company here in Marietta, and she was showing me the Keller Williams ropes. And she said, I was in her office and I saw this book. And I said, oh, what's this about? And she said, you've got to get it. It's the best book ever. And I went and ordered it that day. And then I met you at a couple of Keller Williams functions. The
Very
book
cool.
was life-changing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And so when you guys were considering, it's a big investment to coach with me, right? It is. It's a significant investment. I might be the most expensive coach in real estate. And I understand the problems with that, and I understand the benefits to that. So what made you decide to jump into coaching? Like, what made you, because you've been successful, you've been doing well. So what kind of made you want to go to that next level?
I felt very stagnant and didn't know what to do next. And I have a partner now, Paige, and she's got a young baby, and we needed to be making more money. Even though her husband's very successful, Paige wanted to make her own money. And I just felt like I didn't know where to turn. And
we weren't really sure what what we could be doing more of to get successful, get busy, and we were bored. So we knew we needed to do something different, and we felt like this was an investment in ourselves and in our business.
I love it. So, all right. So your business has a primary focus of the neighborhood you live in, right? And when we started coaching, it's like, all right, where can we make maybe the most significant movement in your business in the shortest amount of time, right? And that's kind of a clarifying question is, where's your biggest opportunity? Where should our focus be? And you said the East Hampton neighborhood that you live in, right? So tell me about this focus a little bit.
So we have 426 homes in the neighborhood, and my husband and I are original owners. I would say 75% of our business comes from the neighborhood, but we have so many new neighbors that I felt like even though we're original owners, I didn't know a lot of these people, and I needed to figure out a way to meet them and capture them, which is what you've helped me do through coaching.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And I hope everybody heard the specificity of what she said. Like, so she said 426 homes. She knows this neighborhood. She's an original owner. She's seen people come and go, and a lot of them bought maybe when their kids were younger. And then, we're now 20, 25 years later, those kids have moved out. The empty nesters have now moved on. And now we have, and by the way, I happen to know East Hampton pretty well. It's one of the best school districts in the entire country. So these families are moving in with younger kids so that they can go to the great school. So I hope everybody understood how well that Brenda and Paige know their numbers. They know this neighborhood like the back of their hand. So what have you implemented quickly from the coaching? Because you're master implementers. That's what I really want to, like, how the hell did we go from 0 to 2 events in 3 months? I mean, I think that's very motivational for people.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is you got to be motivated. You can't, this is not a sitting on the couch and texting people kind of thing. You got to be out there doing something and be mentally ready for that. Cause, I think one thing from coaching you've taught us is to stay in front of people, don't just disappear after you sell them a house, and to stay in front of them and which helps us, we're on top of the inventory because we're constantly, intermingling with these people. And I think the referral program that you've helped us to kind of get down to a science has been amazing. I mean, like you said, we practically are paying nothing for our parties now. So that's huge.
Yeah, I really want you to make money on the next one, right? So, and I'll kind of bottom line, well, you tell me, what were the results business-wise from, let's talk about the first event to the second event, and what was your first event?
So our first event was a Cinco de Mayo event, and it was super random just because of the timing that we started coaching, and we just decided, you know what, we got to do it now or never. So the first event, I think we were both terrified. We were both like, we didn't know how it was going to go. We were financially a little nervous about it. But the first event was a huge learning lesson, and I couldn't say more positive about it because now I feel like that first thing, it got us over the hump of the nervous of the, should we do this? Should we not? And now we know we love doing it. We enjoy it, and it's working for us, and we see it working for our referrals, for our vendors. That's pretty awesome.
What a concept. You just said that you're having fun, that you're enjoying it. Hey, come on now. This is prospecting. This is lead generation. This should not be fun. It should be a grind. It should, you'd have to.
And fun. Who would thunk? So,
well, go ahead, Brenda. Add to that.
It's just been, the first one, like Paige said, we were very scared, nervous. Are people going to show up? We had 187 people at our first party. The second party, we did a 4th of July Summer Sizzler, I think is what we called it. And we had 160 people RSVP, but we had 90 people show up, and it was still a hit.
And I think what's really awesome is that we're hitting our target audience. A lot of the new young families are coming, and they're new faces, they're new people. So I think we're getting exactly who we're trying to get there, which is awesome.
And the feedback that we're getting, the positive reinforcement, and how excited that we don't have a social committee in our neighborhood. And so people are excited that we're having parties again, which has been great because it's us giving them.
Yeah, I love it. And I love how well you know your numbers, Brenda. I mean, like 187 at the first, which is an incredible first turnout at an event, right? And that's really what we kind of focused on was attendance. Like, let's try to get as many as we can. And you were doing it in such a great month with May that, you know, school wasn't out yet. People were looking for the opportunity to get out and engage. And like you said, the people who are showing up are the ones you want. These are the younger families with the kids, and they're brand new. And quite honestly, a lot of them don't have realtor relationships. So you're building that with them. And then you had 160 or so RSVP to the first one, 90 showed up. But that, you know, so that's explainable too, is they did it on July 1st, which is the 4th of July weekend. And honestly, it wasn't a big deal to only have 90. The bigger deal was the invitation process, the conversations, and that kind of thing. And what was the biggest lesson from the second event, in your opinion? Like, what are you going to make sure you do on the third event?
Follow up with people, stay in front of them.
Make those phone calls, make sure they're coming to the parties. They have a friendly, warm phone call.
Yeah, reminding. Yep, confirming. Yep.
Confirm, and reminders, friendly reminders, and 2 great lines for everybody that's listening to this that you can use in those confirmations. Number 1, you can double your attendance by sending this 24 hours ahead of time, just saying, or 48 hours ahead of time in their case, because they have to order the food, is I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you. And the truth is, you are counting on them to attend if you're ordering food or ordering drinks, or, dear God, if you have to pay X number. Thank God this situation wasn't one where they were going to have to pay per head before the event because 70 people ended up not coming. And guess what? 4th of July weekend, you're going to have fallout.
And we had horrible weather.
Yeah,
right.
the weather, it wasn't ideal. But I still think still 90 people showed up. That's not nothing. That's a lot of people still. So even though it wasn't our hopeful turnout, and again, it was new faces. Every time it's new faces, which is great. And some repeat people, which is even better.
That's right. And 70 people feel really guilty because they RSVP'd, but they didn't come. And trust me, they feel it. They feel it, right? But I will tell you, I got to give you kudos on the weather. And you know, sometimes I tell people this and they don't implement it, but you guys were so ready. Hey, listen, you know, you wanted to do the event outside, which makes a ton of sense. It's July, fireworks and that kind of thing. And then this huge storm rolls in, and you guys went to Plan B like literally 4 days ahead of time, 3 days ahead of time, and said, all right, we're going to Plan B. We're going to do it in the clubhouse. You had the clubhouse already reserved. You did decorations at the clubhouse. You were ready for Plan B. And you got to realize everybody in the neighborhood, they subtly or subconsciously, they respect the heck out of that, even though they may not consciously figure out what's going on, right? I mean, you had a plan, and that's what professional people do. The best thing about events is people get to see your communication, professionalism, care, and value before they refer you and before they use you as a client. That's the beauty of it, is if you're professional and proactive and communicate just for an event, everybody's thinking, oh my gosh, how much greater are they when it comes to real estate? And, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. All right. So how much did you spend on the first event?
We had budgeted for $1,500, and then, life happened, costs got a little more, and I think we ended up more around 2,300.
More like 42.
Oh, okay.
For the first one.
Yeah, so 4,200. I remember before we had all the numbers, it was around 3,800, right? So about $4,000 on the first event, right? Mm-hmm. First event, Cinco de Mayo. We didn't have a lot of sponsor partners. We're kind of getting our feet wet, and guess what? investment. It's an investment.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's a large neighborhood and a lot of heads to feed. So that,
right.
That takes into account for pricing and cost. But for the second event, we had budgeted that $1,500 and we really stuck to it. And then at that point, we had implemented the referral program. So we came out, we had extra left over for the next event, that's where we want. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't always work out like that, or I want everybody to know, right? But they cut their cost by $4,000 between the first event and the second event. And I want everybody to know is that's what event mastery is all about, is making money, making money. So make money on the event. Make money on the event. We are in business. We are entrepreneurs. It's a great example of being creative and making some money. And then you're going to get all these leads, all these referrals, and you're going to hand out all these leads and referrals to people. And, I do know, like with a remodeler, their jobs are $100,000, $120,000. Some of them will pay you referral fees for connecting you. I mean, you can actually make money referring out. And then you can make money on the referrals that you work with, the clients that you get because of the events that you're doing. So I love it, right? So how is your business different now than before you started?
I think
Go ahead,
Mom.
Paige.
Okay. I was going to say, I think that, like I said before, the biggest thing is just to really keep staying in front of people. Don't disappear. People like to feel good about themselves. So we, ask them how they're doing often, stay in front of our clients. Yeah.
I think we also have more of the mindset of what can we do for you instead of what can you do for us. And that's been huge.
Yeah, it's all about them. We're finding the power of generosity, right? We're giving value. And I think another part of like maybe the next lesson is being appreciative receivers. When somebody says, I'd love to help you with the next event, just say yes. When somebody says, I'd like to sponsor your next event, just say yes and figure out the numbers, right? Just say yes. Be appreciative receivers. It's okay. Somebody wants to give you money, take it. My dad told me that so many years ago. I have to tell you, I have this pay it forward thing I do. So when I go to the airport or whatever, if I go to a Starbucks, I buy the person in front of me's coffee, which does two things. One is it's really nice to do, but two, it gets me through the line faster, which is a thing for me. So here's the thing. I also do it when I go to the little convenience stores. So I was at a convenience store, gal in front of me was buying a shot glass for a gift, right? And I'm like, oh, that's a cool looking shot glass. Are you getting it as a gift? She's like, yeah. And I'll go, let me buy it for you, right? I have this thing where I pay it forward for the person in front of me. And she goes, oh, no, I can't do that. I've got my sister over there and, I'm waiting on her. And I'll go, well, that can be included. And she was like, no, thank you. And I'm like, okay. And did I buy her stuff? No, I didn't, right? I mean, you don't want to press this. But I'm telling you right now, if somebody wants to give you money, just take it and be appreciative. Be an appreciative receiver and just kind of take it down that road. So anyway, I think there's a lesson there. And then the other thing too is all right, what people are listening to this and I see the title of this like scared, afraid, do it now. This episode will help you implement now. Like, what is your advice for those that are setting out there in July or August and they don't know what to do? They don't know what step to make. What is your advice for what first step they need to take?
I would say...
Oh my God, Jinx. That was so good. We are not out taking. Sherry, make sure you keep that in.
We are.
That was perfect.
That was funny. Don't be afraid to step outside the box and do something different. There are a ton of realtors in Atlanta and a lot of them doing the same thing. And I think this is something different. And just believe in yourself, because it really takes a lot of believing in yourself and just taking that leap of faith and kind of Jesus take the wheel, But just believe in yourself and don't be afraid to do something different.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Take that first step. Just do it.
Yeah, or if finances are something that's stopping them, put money away every time you have a closing until you have your saving.
And start calling your vendors.
Our vendors are all people we're very close with, and we have a very close relationship with. So just use your network.
Yep, I love that, and it's so funny how we've done. This is like our 299th episode. We're almost on 300 episodes, and I always ask, like, what's the words of wisdom? What's your advice? And 99% of the time, people are like, just do it. Like, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I have to tell you, I just got back from a huge conference, and my big thing was like, oh my God, what we're doing is changing lives. And it's just like, just freaking believe and just do it. And I think that's such a huge lesson for everybody. So I love that. And the other part of it too is this is a little different, but in this case, different is hopefully enjoyable and fun, right? Is we want to be in a scenario where we're going to do fun prospecting, fun lead generation, and you're doing events like having fun with the neighbors. And even if you never get a referral, you're going to have better relationships with your neighbor, which is like the second most powerful thing in your home ownership experience. The first is your relationship with your family, right? But number two is your relationships with your neighbors. And honestly, I think every neighborhood could use a Brenda Brown and a Paige Woodhouse, right? I mean, could you imagine if every neighborhood had someone who cared enough to throw these events and get people together, take over where there's no social committee, and it's good for business too, right? And one thing that we've talked about, what are their next steps in the business, is inviting their sphere to come to these events. And that's going to probably provide even more referrals, because in a neighborhood, they're still working out the trust thing. Whereas your sphere already trusts you. They see on a piece of paper an opportunity to refer you. A lot of times they take it. Whereas somebody that's maybe newer is like, well, I'm not quite sure yet, right? So I love it. This is fantastic, and so much value here. And I love what you're talking about, where you hired somebody when you were stagnant and you felt like you needed a kick in the pants a little bit. And that's such great advice for anyone, anywhere. If you feel like you need help in an area, right? So like for me, it was health. When I needed help in the health arena, I went to my neighborhood group, and Brenda Brown suggested, I believe it was you, Michael Therese, a.k.a. Sonny. And guess what? Sonny came to my house in November. He came to my house. If I had to go somewhere, I wouldn't have worked out. He came to my freaking house. It's really hard to hide in your own house.
Yeah.
And so he went down. I worked with him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and now I'm 50 pounds less. I benched 350 a while back. I'm doing heavy squats. I'm playing 10 games of baseball next week, five doubleheaders in 5 days. And guess what? I got help. You got help when you were looking for taking it to the next level or getting started. And I just love that concept. So I just want to thank all of you from me and the entire ReferCo team and every listener of Referrals Podcast for being our guest today. Brenda, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, Michael.
And Paige, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead. Go ahead, Paige.
I was just saying, just like the new referral program, it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that this was fun. And that's what I love about this, too, is you're talking about something you're passionate about. You're having fun doing. It's not hard. Could you imagine if I just grilled you about expireds or grilled you about cold calling for an hour? I mean, what are you doing? I'm annoying people. I'm interrupting people. I'm distracting people. I'm hunting people down. It's like, no, you know what? We'll just attract them. We'll have fun. They'll give us referrals. They'll give us leads. And they'll give our sponsors and our partners referrals and leads. And the sponsor partners will help us offset the expenses. I think it's a great thing. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. And to the listeners and to the viewers, check this out on YouTube. If you get an opportunity, it's Get Referrals is our channel. And then the last thing is listen, you felt the energy in this interview, I hope. That's what people hire. That's what makes your day better. That's where implementation happens. Energy is the power to get work done. If you feel like you need more energy, check out energymasteryclass.com. It starts on August 8th. We'd love to have you. And I would love to raise your energy. And I'm going to give you 8 places where you can raise your energy. And I hope you check it out at energymasteryclass.com. Last but not least, you're one of us. You're listening to the podcast. You love what we're talking about. Join us. Join the generosity generation. Join gengen.com. JOINGENGEN.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in for today's podcast. Hope you got a ton of value out of it. We'll see you next time on Referrals Podcast.